I have looked at this project and reviewed it to the extent I thought it needed reviewed. We need to draw some revisions and submit those as soon as possible. Presumably today, if you can make your decisions with regard to some of the stuff I show you through this film. First of all, probably a person should come out there and confirm that this is 412 pitch. That's what the other plans say, 412, and it looks kind of like 412, but from this photo I can't tell. Secondly, we talked about this drainage out here, and I don't know if you consider putting a sump pump in there, but in any event, because of the way that yard is all sloping this way, a person should make sure they grade this appropriately to bring that out at least to the driveway. It wouldn't hurt probably just to have your drain tile here collecting the stuff and then get it out to that driveway somehow. Through the rest of this film, these numbers up in the corner refer to a file name, or more or less to whatever alteration has happened. So if you see something that is what you want or what you don't want, make a note of what that file name is at that point in the film. In terms of floor planning, there will be a number of things to cover, generally and specifically, and just showing you some different alternatives. I don't know if I assume the last designer went through something similar. Hopefully there's not too much repetition. First of all, these turns in a building, particularly like this, are frowned upon just from a design standpoint and from a value standpoint, having this notch in the wall. And from a cost standpoint, every turn costs you money, even these little turns like this. And in this particular case, at the end of the day, I'm not sure how much that gains you. And I'm not sure I have this diagrammed like what we talked about. I know you said the toilet would face this way, and the vanity, the sink, would face this way. And then I have the shower over here. And that can be, I'm showing 32 by 48. The shower head, of course, can be on either side. And that can actually be 34, it can be a little deeper, 34 by 48. And I moved that turn back slightly. But all of this rigmarole here is just to pick up this extra 2 or 3 or 4 inches, 4 inches at the most, in this bedroom. Because remember, we measured, it's about 16.2 from the foundation to the edge of this electric meter. So I'm not sure the extra work required to frame this and do the rigmarole, I'm not sure that's worth what you're gaining there. One thing I'll mention in passing, notice this is the best way to light a mirror at the vanity, if a person's going to work with their face at all, is to have these lights flanking the medicine cabinet or mirror. I'm showing a medicine cabinet here because you could do that. It'd be a little chilly, but you could do that. But this is the way to light that, and I haven't drawn a lighting plan. I'm going to discuss that, but definitely I would have those two. I would probably have the exhaust fan in the center, and then lighting here, here, and maybe here. But now I believe we talked about 3-foot, 4-foot shower. They have them in 3.5 foot as well, but I showed the 4-foot shower here, and then a 3-foot shower there. Still with that turn in the building that I'm not sure makes that much sense. So I got rid of that turn in the building and admitted that we were only going to get 16 feet down here, just to see how that impacted this bathroom. I recall in this one here, by the way, I do show a window in this shower, which means those shower walls have to be either ceramic or a solid surface like Corian or cultured marble. Some sort of, I particularly think that bathrooms, these interior bathrooms with no window, that really takes away from the value of the bath itself, the money you put into outfitting the bath. Some of that's lost if you just have this dark bathroom. So one way or another, I would personally recommend some sort of glazing in that bathroom, either here or possibly a skylight at the end of the day if this cannot be arranged. But I shrunk back to the 34 by 36 shower, which is about the minimum kind of a shower you'd want in here. I shifted that wall from 6'4" and 1/4 to 7'4", so I pulled this wall down another foot to accomplish this more generous bathroom. You probably don't want or need that And that 1 foot can be tempered right here. I'm showing this is a 2 foot wide window. And you can get these windows as small as, in standard sizes, as small as 17 inches wide. So you could just bring this down maybe 6 inches to give yourself enough room in front of here. This shower is shown as one of these ones that has, glass on 2 sides, and then a door, however you want the door. And here I just moved a few things around. I moved these walls, this wall and this wall, squeezed that existing doorway in some, like this. But there is kind of a problem when you do that because of the casing treatment that you have at your house. And we could probably remedy that by squeezing this bathroom a little. I have the toilet 17 inches from the center to this wall. The minimum is 15, but 17 is pretty nice. And if we move those two over too, this brings the inside of this closet to the 2'0" normal inside closet depth. And you need to have 21 inches in front of this vanity before the fixture and 21 clearance, and that is a 21-inch circle. It's about 22 inches between the corner of that going through there. And then then you have this margin. This door here, that is currently shown as 2 36-inch leaves opening out like that. But those can be, those could be a sliding door. That can be a sliding door as well, instead of that, so that those doors aren't swinging out into the room. But you can only access half of it at a time. Finally, it could be bifold like that, where you have full access but they don't come into the path as much. It doesn't really matter, they don't come into the path that much in the first place, even when they're hinged doors, simply because that path is so wide through there. The only place I would think that you would have a nice piece of furniture here for all of your linen. We do need a decent place to put switches when we come in this room, and that is your regular operating door on the right side here. So this here is going to have to come down enough anyway so that you can have a couple switches on this wall here. So then there are a few other things. The minimum that you can have up here is going to be 1'9" from the front of this vanity to where you get an obstruction with the toilet. I would recommend no less than that 17-inch offset for this toilet. And then I was showing this bigger door down here, but you are only going to be required to have, really this door can be as small as 24 inches if you wanted it to, but I'm showing it 30 inches here, and you'll have to specify whether that's going to have glass in it, what kind of door that's going to be. But it began to occur to me, a lot of this, getting this tightened up in here was so that we didn't have to disturb this door here. And I don't know if that, there's going to be drywall work going on here, so I'm not sure that that also is sensible. So I wanted to explore what if we got away from trying to preserve that door and just went to a regular standard doorway through there. And I at first just took that same door system there and moved it down here like this, and then just got rid of the window on that wall from a cost standpoint. But this just makes a standard hallway through here, and with this sort of closet in that same bathroom. And then I went to just a standard door. I'm still showing it wide. It only has to be 30. I'm still showing it 33 or so, like that one was. And I was just messing around with some of these. I didn't think this particularly made sense. I started going this way thinking that maybe the person can use this bath as part of the house bath as well. So that was one thing I considered doing, something like this, something like that, or this, where this becomes more or less just a short hall down here. But I'm not sure that is what you're looking for, but I did want to look at it briefly. So I went back to this arrangement here, where this all just becomes the master bedroom suite, and did the closet this way. So that's what some of the things that are able to be developed if we accept just either relocating that door or changing it to a standard interior door. And on this one, I'm showing again this window. I have it going all the way across here, made of vinyl or fiberglass, and I show that as an awning window that kind of opens at the bottom first, and then tilts out like an awning. But I mean, you could use a glass block window across there. I have glass block in my shower, and it's very kind of nice. You can have a vent in those glass blocks. So for this final bit, I just showed a 42-inch wide glass block window. With any of these glass block or even the other windows, I think I mentioned it, you would have to use some sort of ceramic or solid surface material on the interior of that shower. Also, you're going to have at least 2 steps down. Looked to me like that was the minimum you're going to get away with to have that ground graded properly, and then you'll step down 2 steps, maximum of 8 inches apiece. 8 1/4 technically. But make sure that this is where you want this window, on this north wall, or did you want it on the south wall? Probably centered. If it's on the south wall, it's probably going to be centered. But if it's on that north wall, probably you should firm up. I have it centered where there's an even space of wall on either side between this door casing and this window casing, so these 2 margins are the same, but you will have to specify that as well, or should anyway. I guess the last thing I did was started making that bathroom a little bit wider and turned the toilet facing that way. That gives you a little bit more space in front of the vanity, 3 more inches of space in front of the vanity, and shrinks that closet down by about 7 inches on both sides of the hanging space here. And finally, if you do get rid of that glass block, then I would definitely recommend putting some sort of skylight. This is 2 foot wide, so it fits between your trusses, and this is kind of the shortest of those Velux 2 foot wide ventilating skylights. And these things come, they solar operate, so they can open and close as well, just from a remote control, I guess, or a switch on the wall. And you could have even 2 skylights if you wanted, if cost was no object. This mast, this electric mast, is going to end up in the valley, so this whole valley will have to be ice and water shield to account for that. And these were just some of these showers with 2 sides of glass. But I think that's really about it on the different things to take into consideration when we try to make these revisions. So feel free to call me anytime and we can talk about it. Don't forget to make a note of the file name or what thing is or is not important to you. Hopefully that is a decent review. Thanks very much.